Welcome back to Missouri River Bottom for episode 18. I'm BP and we're still in July. Last episode we harvested the canola and plowed fields 22 and 24 together in preparation for planting soybeans. Today we finish planting the soybeans. Between episodes, I did grab a quick plowing contract over on field 25, and we completed the harvesting contract on 25 from June as well. So we have both of those to collect today, and we're getting quite a bit of money. We're going to have to start looking for another field to purchase. So before we jump in today, what fields are we looking at nearby? Field 13 has, is it corn? Oh, great. We love corn. So field 13 has corn. Field 13 is $1.54 million with no discount. So that's a little steep. And it's always nice to have a discount. Field 15 is, that looks like carrots. Yeah, we definitely don't want to buy that many carrots. Oh my goodness. Field 29, the largest field on the map, 194 acres, is carrots. That, guys, that might actually be worth making an episode out of. We'd pick up a Colossus root harvester, get it with the 25 or 50 meter header, and get those carrots up and see how many millions of liters of carrots we pick up. I would never do that with a standard harvester, but might be fun to do. So that's another option. Just trying to find something near to us. Field 28, we could pick it up. Field 28 is sunflowers. I bet it's way too expensive. Yeah, 4.2 million. So maybe we pick up field 13 right next to the farm, full of corn, 62.39 acres for 1.5 million. Leave us with just about $350,000 left. And I have a thought about that field in particular and it being corn. I'm wondering if we don't use that for chaff and start making silage. I was looking at our cows the other day, and the meadow grass continues to grow, but their health is just not very good. So I still think there's some conflict with the meadow grass and the meadow that we put in, the field we put in, and the meadow grass and everything else. So we might just have to start feeding these guys silage. They do eat quite a bit. And if we are going to put them on silage, then quite frankly, making TMR is just not that much harder. We have tons of straw. We're always selling straw because we have too much. And we have the grass field, so we could make hay very easily. So we could go to dairy cows and just feed them all TMR at that stage. And that could be a change for us heading into year 3. So just a thought, but you know what? I think, let's do it. We're going to buy field 13. So we now own field 13. So we own all of the property touching our farm. And we're starting to build quite a repertoire of fields and crops and building up a very successful farm. So anyways, got distracted there in the menu. And part of my desire to pick up a cornfield in addition to what we already have is there is a Colossus Forage Harvester for sale in the sale right now. So maybe while we're getting this field done in soybeans, we go pick up the Colossus Forage Harvester as well. So, jumping right in, let's make sure all of our settings look good. We're going to use multiple tools, 2 headlands, so 4 total, no rounded corners. We're going to go ahead and generate the course. I am interested to see because you can see it's going to slowly work its way across the field, figuring it out now that we connected it. The bigger the field and the more custom the field, the longer the course takes to generate. So it's working its way through. We should have a course here in just a second. There we go. So that is, yeah, that's field 22 and 24 combined. Double headlands. We are good to go. Now, we've learned this lesson in the past. We're going to start this tractor on the inside track, which would be the right track as we head around counterclockwise, because it takes less time, so we can set it off, and then we can immediately set off the outside track, the left tractor, and it doesn't catch up. So we have planting, save course, and we're going to call this field 22-24, and this is going to be ×2 because we're using 2 planters. We are good to go there. Just want to double check the information. Right, we don't want on the first, we want on the, not the nearest one, on the first. Right, we are set up with soybeans. We have 79,583 liters of seed, so we have more than enough seed to get going here. And he is off, so that is great. I think the only thing we need to do is make sure he gets up to speed. But we are starting, as you guys can see, on that inside track, leaving the outside for the Fendt. It's going to have to do more passes, more corrections. It takes a little bit longer to get around the outside. So if we start this tractor on the inside track, we can just basically stack the tractors up and go right one after another. So that should be good. All we're waiting for here is to see if we get up to speed. Should be about 22 miles an hour. Great. The grass should disappear when we plant over it. It does. Everything is working out well. So that is great news. Gonna head on over here. Jump in the Fendt. I had to put gas or diesel in the Fendt again. We are burning through fuel on these tractors. I did want to point out that tire mod is working. If you look down in the bottom corner, we're at 66% wear, and the treads on these tires are getting much, much smaller. So I'm excited. I'm going to try to run a tractor all the way down to 100% wear or 0 tread and see what it looks like before we repair them. But I suspect heading into next winter, when we're doing some winter field work and maintenance on our equipment, we will need to do tire repair on quite a few vehicles. So excited to have that feature as well. We'll jump into the menu. Let's clear the current course. Let's load this course, head back out, pull up the menu. We want this guy on the left. He needs to start at the first waypoint. He is still planting corn. That would be a problem. Oh, just missed soybeans. Oh, missed him again. Going way too fast. Let's see here. Sorghum, sunflower, soybeans. Got it. Perfect. Okay, so we have the correct crop. We have the correct track starting at the first waypoint. And again, we're just going to make sure that this guy gets up to speed. He should be good. Once he gets around that first corner. Interested to see how the telephone pole works here. I'm wondering if there's a collision in that telephone pole or if there isn't one. I feel like I took the corner at one point and did not end up with a collision, so maybe there isn't a collision on that telephone pole. Let's see if we get far enough back to tell. Oh, doesn't matter. We don't need it. All right, so are we getting up to speed here? Yep, 19, 21, 22. We're in good shape. We should get that little bit of grass right there. Yeah, much better. Okay. Okay. So we are out of the field. We will let them work. Get that planted. It has been a long month in July getting all this stuff done. And while we're here, let's actually check on our sheep real quick. We have 32 pallets of wool. We are starting to produce a lot of wool. And we have a couple more. Always a good idea to just grab them and throw them into the shed. I have been looking at mods that manage the animal outputs, wool, eggs, milk. There's sort of collection points you put that overlap the spawn points for your pens, and then they can send them off to a distribution center. It gets a little complicated. It's not a bad idea. It would definitely help with the wool because we're just producing so much, and we're not even at 50% of our capacity. So it's definitely going to get a lot more challenging to manage the wool. As it is now, I'm emptying the spawn point almost twice a day. So we may have to figure something out there. But for today, we'll just keep moving it by hand and going from there. We also, you know what we should do? We should jump into, let's check out that sale and see if we can find right here, Colossus 6000 Forage Harvester. Okay, first off, that is an ugly harvester. I'm not sure who wants that one, but we do not. We don't need to upgrade to 3,000 horsepower. That is too much. 1,100 horsepower may not quite be enough. It's 5,000 to go to 1,800. Yeah, let's try it at 5,000. We'll rock some BKTs if that's an option. I am a fan of double front tires. Yeah, twin fronts on the forage harvesters. And there's a second version. Oh, twin narrows. That is an interesting look. I'm not sure that that looks very good. And there's twin wheels all around, so you get twin front and rears. That does look better than just the twin. So we don't want the medium. We have the twin front 3. I'm not sure what the big difference is. I guess it's the rear tire. Okay, we'll go with that one. We definitely don't want the camouflage. We'll pass on that. Beacon lights. I like low profile LED looking beacon lights. Window tint. Do they have a clear version of those? 6, 7. They have a green version and they have none. Go with just those. Window tint. We definitely don't want it tinted green. Exhaust. We want black. Definitely want the long pipe. Okay, main color. Let's start getting this thing dressed up and ready to go. Design color, dark moon. Still one of my favorite colors. Been brought over from FS25. Just a great color. Do we actually want to color match that blue and have the whole body blue and the roof? That's a nice, clean look. Pipe color. I'm not sure we want to go with Colossus green. We'll go with black. Design color, get that switched over to dark moon. Interior color, definitely black. Seat color, let's make that our blue. Inner rim, still don't understand why we have multiple rim colors or multiple parts of the rim that get colored, but we're just going to make them all black. And 167,000, so not bad at all. That looks pretty sharp, guys. I think that's going to be great for harvesting the corn into chaff for our cows heading into year 3. So let's go ahead and buy that. All right, do we have a header in here for that? No, I don't think we do, but we'll take a quick look and just see what's in here. Yeah, I don't think there's a header for that. So we'll jump out here, head down to Forage Harvesters. Should be right below the regular harvesters. Oh, I went too far. Okay, Forage Harvesters. Go to the Colossus. And let's go to combinations. So we have the Unrealistic 9, the regular one, a couple other options. We have the grass, which we could use. There's the mower. We're not going to do any poplar. Sugarcane will pass on all those. So I think, does this one have additional width? So no, this one is just 9 meters. And I think that'll be fine. Branded, no. Main color. And design color. The other design color. Yeah, that looks to be about it. All right, so 9 meter working width. Before we buy that, let's just double check and make sure there aren't any wider ones, because having a wider spread would definitely be helpful. The crone's 9. That crone's 9. 9. Yeah, so 9 is as big as we're going to get. I bet the Unrealistic has, yeah, working with 25 meter, 50 meter. Those are fun, but I don't know that we'll be doing that much corn that we need to go with an Unrealistic one. Maybe we'll change our mind in the future, but we'll jump back in here, recreate the one we just had. All right, 53,000. We'll buy that. Excellent. We will have to figure out some kind of trailer situation to pull behind that, or we could try, we could try, of course, playing auto drive, see what we can get set up. I can tell you I've not had much luck with horse-playing auto drive with forage harvesters, but maybe it's a challenge we need to take on in this series, is figure out how to get that done and just make field 23 our forage harvester field to make chaff, and we just get it all set up and solve it, and then it's done. So for right now, we'll run down to the shop and check out our new forage harvester. I'm excited to have that. We are getting close to needing another barn or another shed. We're not quite there yet, but it is getting to be a bit of a problem to get everything in and put away. What do we got going on over here? So that's the first, that's the Deutz, and it's making its first, well, it's making its second pass on its second headland. So that's going to start on its inland rows here pretty soon. So they are so far making it around without getting tangled up. Hopefully that continues. Our grass field should be ready to harvest in September. Corn's looking good again this year. Growing up quite a bit. We are at this stage sort of landlocked as far as our fields go because of the drainage ditches. You know, between 22 and 24, which we combined, the next field down is field 25. It's a substantial field. It would take quite a bit of money, but there's a drainage ditch between 24 and 25. Now we can always go in, and I can always basically landscape that out of the fields or out of the map and make it one big field. Not sure if we want to go that route or not. Maybe it'd be time to pick up a field somewhere else around the map. Maybe spread our wings a little bit and see how that goes. I am interested. I gotta say, talking at the beginning of the episode, I am interested in field 29, that huge field with the carrots. I think that could be, as a one-off project for an episode, we could absolutely get the Colossus Harvester. I would put the unrealistic header on there, maybe even the 50 meter, and do that field by hand, and just see how many millions and millions of liters of carrots we pull out of there. I think it would just be, I think absurd would be an understatement in regards to how that would turn out. So we'll get squared up here. I like to have the truck facing the right way to head out when we're done. So I like this spot right here. Let's go ahead and get the tilt deck out. Let's get the wings spread. We got those big dual tires on the front that we're gonna need to grab or get onto the trailer. So let's take a look at our new forage harvester. This is very cool. I love the dual tires on the front. Got the long pipe, nice and clean. The blue and the black matches the farm. Let's go ahead while we're here and repaint and repair this guy so he's set to go for his first endeavor, whenever that is. You guys can see how how big the tread is on these tires before the tire wear mod starts to work. So it's definitely, that's a very cool just sort of little detail mod. Wow, look at the smoke coming out of that. Dual exhaust. I'm excited to have this on the farm, guys. I think we're going to get into some more silage making in year 3. Have that help with our animals. So this will be a big help in just making a lot of chaff really quick. So these dual tires are going to overhang the trailer even with the wings all the way out. Look how big that is. That is so wide. I love it. Absolutely tremendous. So put some straps on it. Go ahead and get it tipped back. It doesn't like being strapped down before being level, but that's okay. We can make that work. So we'll take this back to the farm. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to store it. It's so wide, it probably has to go in cold storage. May have to move the case up to a different spot. We also don't really have a spot for our other tractors just to be parked in general. Maybe it's time we looked for another shed. We are down to $112,000. I've managed to make $1.5 million disappear in a matter of about 10 minutes. So, bit of a spending spree. Maybe it's time to stop spending, but we will take a quick look and see if there's a shed out there. That way we can get the Colossus into the cold storage shed. We could also just park the case in front of the field bin, the auger wagon there, and just leave it on the side. It doesn't need to be in front of the door. We don't use it that much. I did use it today for the plowing contract. It did great. That case doesn't care when the plow is behind it. It just cruises at 24 miles an hour, happy as can be, like there's not even a thing in the world going on behind it. So that's always fun to see when the equipment works out. But let's get this back to the farm. We'll check in on our 2 planters, the Fendt and the Deutz, just to see how progress is going. I assume that with all of the course play we've been working, getting set up and starting the Deutz on the inside track, we should be totally fine. It's one of the great things about course play with, you know, the way it helps the vehicles interact and everything else. There was a moment in the last episode where we were liming the field and fertilizing it with manure at the same time on field 22, and the lime tractor was coming back down. Oh, here comes the tractor right at us. And the fertilizer tractor just stopped. It gave it like 200 feet of distance. Once it cleared, it went right on, and it just took care of that all on its own. And those were on 2 separate course play tracks one doing lime, one doing manure fertilizer, different widths, different equipment. We're not set off together. We're just on the field working, and Courseplay was able to recognize that they were going to interact in a negative way and prevent that from happening. So when it works, it's absolutely tremendous. They are making short work of that field. How far over are they? They look like they're like almost halfway done with that field, guys. That is crazy how fast they're tearing through that field. That is exciting. So this is what I was talking about on the way back. Over here we have field 24, and then next to it is field 25. But there's this drainage ditch between them. We could take that out and expand the field and even pick up field 25 and field 20 to make that one really big field. That would probably be the new mega field. Might even be bigger than field 29 up above it, but we'd have to get rid of the drainage ditch, and I'm not sure what's between 25 and 20. We'd have to check on that too. So let's get this back to the farm. Oh, there's the Deutz. Yeah, they are cruising through the soybean field. So exciting when things come together like that. We'll get this unloaded. We'll take it back to the shed. We'll get some vehicles and equipment rearranged to get it in there. And then maybe we take a quick look down and take a peek at the new field 23 that we just bought. So pop those off and let's get the ramp unfolded and get this unloaded. Still loving this trailer. Love the tip deck. Love the wings. It's been exactly what we've needed on the farm. Get the Deutz turned, or get the TLX turned off. Are we still producing lime? Because that is just clunking away, and if we're not, nope, we're not producing lime. Let's get that turned off. We don't need the extra noise on the farm unnecessarily. Man, still looking at that thing, still absolutely thrilled. That is great news. Love having this thing. Let's do a little in-cab driving. Yeah, I'm not even giving it full throttle. This thing, there we go, we'll loop it up a little bit. Yeah, this thing's got some power. It will take off. So, the case is right there. Maybe we put the case over here in front of the grain bin. Wouldn't be a bad spot for it. See if we can get it to kick all the way around inside the shed. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then let's see if the Colossus 6000 will fit in the door. We're going to pull it through the big door on the ends because we know it'll fit down there. And then we'll see if we get it squared up, if we have to come out this door all the time, or if we can actually get out through one of the roll doors. Alright, moment of truth. Oh yeah, it'll fit. It's not bad at all. As big as it was on the trailer, fits in well here. Excellent. Do we have a parking spot with this bay door? We do not. It'll be something we'll have to add at a later date. So let's take a walk down and check out our new field. So actually, I think we'll approach it this way. There's a little land bridge behind the cow barn that heads over there. So right down here, and I might actually, you know, since we own the field now, maybe we should put in just a little path, just something to let them know that we're using it. Come through here a little bit. Just get rid of that grass. Provide a little bit of access, because I also have an idea and a thought, not that we'd really bring any equipment through this little narrow area, but You know, just so we have access to our field. So here we are, field 23. Let's pop up. And that is, so there we go. Runs along the back of our production area. Does need lime and plowing, so the yield bonus is low. So actually making this into chaff is going to be perfect because it's not going to produce much corn, but it'll still produce, I mean, probably almost 2 million liters of chaff. So right along the back of our sheep meadow. Here's our farm. There's the new soybean field in all of its glory. Comes all the way down here. Yeah, this is a big field, 62.39 acres. That is a big, big field. And we can actually harvest the corn in another maybe 2 months because we can do before it's totally ripe if we're just going to turn it into chaff. So, yeah, I mean, there's the drainage ditch. So we could be buying field 25 long term, which is straight ahead across the ditch on the other side of the road. And connecting those up, we just have to fill that in. Same thing here. And then I'm interested to see how far down this field goes. Because it goes all the way down by our cow pasture, back behind the forested area in, you know, at the end of the field where the mega field wraps around. So this is not a small field. Yeah, it is. It goes all the way down here. And then it tees into the drainage ditch down here. So, yeah. So this actually may be even better. It's almost like, so that's actually the drainage ditch. This is actually just sort of a, I mean, I suppose it's a runoff is what that is with all the mud in it, because that one's so full of water. But it may be better to keep this as a chaff field because we can just tear through and don't have to worry about getting every corner and everything else. What's interesting is it does, yeah, it comes over here and here. So that is a drainage ditch. That one has water in it. There's another little land bridge here to get over to the other field. I mean, I love that they're connected, but there's no way you're bringing big equipment across there to access that. That was one of the reasons we made the mega field, because we didn't have access to this field down here once the corn was in and we put the cow pasture in. So, yeah, this is a great field. I'm super excited to add this to the farm. I think it's going to set us up. Oh, there's a limousine enjoying eating on the edge of the forest. I think it's going to set us up to get our cattle production really up and moving. You know, our cattle barn is, you know, it's not, is it even half full? I think it's less than half full. Let's take a look. Let's get back down on the ground here. So our cow barn is, yeah, we're 400 out of 810. So we have lots of room to grow. So as the money comes in, I think, you know, maybe we get into dairy cows in year 3, use that chaff to make silage and then TMR, and really up our production a lot. Got 500,000 liters of manure in there. I did some filling of our manure production off camera. So we have 377,000 liters of slurry, another 109,000 liters of manure there for fertilizing fields. Our seed production has nothing in it right now, but we can, when the corn comes in, put some of that in there and be in good shape. So, yeah, that's that. I'm excited that we got that Colossus. I'm excited we got that field. I think we're going to be in very good shape for what we need to do and getting into year 3. The wings slide right back in. Snap this trailer around the corner. Almost wish we had like a lean-to, like on the side of the building like that one, but we had one for the back portion over here. That way we could put the tilt deck trailer, the tip back trailer under cover as well. But that's for another day. Oh, looking the wrong way. Straighten it out just a little bit. Let's see how we did. Oh, square as can be. Just absolutely nailed it. We do still have our Western Star that we picked up at the beginning of the series. The only reason we got rid of this truck was because it didn't dump well into our silo. It's a great truck. I did use it to move the seed and the lime around earlier off camera. Still love having it. Not sure what we'll use it for. I guess we could use it for the chaff harvest. That may not be a bad idea. I wonder what's the maximum capacity on this truck. We may as well repaint and repair while we're here. What is capacity? So we could go up to 1 million. We did 1 million liters for the chaff harvest. This could be our chase truck. This could actually work out really, really well, and it wouldn't have to dump in the silo. So we held on to this for a while. This may be the way to go. So we're going to increase that capacity up to 1 million just to have it ready. And I think that may solve our problem, because then we don't need a trailer on the back of the Colossus Forage Harvester. We can just have that chase. It's already got the big float tires on it, so it can just follow the harvester around and run back. We'll have to put a fermenting silo back in when the time comes. Wow, these guys are at the end of the field. Let's try to get down here and catch up to them real quick. They may be on their last pass. Yeah, they're folding up. Guys, that is the end of the field. That took no time at all. Wow, look at that. I'm impressed. That was not very long. That is 100% planted. That's, wow. They're 100% fertilized. Growth stage 1 is 7. Yield bonus 100%. Yeah, that is absolutely insane that they got done that quickly. I did want to come in here and do just a little bit of landscaping. I did not get it done between episodes. The first thing I want to do is get the softening tool out. And there's this ditch that sort of runs down between where the road used to be and where the field ended. So we're just going to soften that up as much as we can. Try to smooth it out so the harvesters don't get caught. And that's just about done there. We did say that we would get rid of this area here because there's no longer a turnaround. So let's come in here and smooth that out a little bit. Increase the brush size. I still don't totally understand why it doesn't paint well. It's one of those texture glitches we're still fighting in Farm Sim 25, where it's like when you can't see the straw behind the harvester, or when you go to pick it up, it's just not there. It's the same thing with these textures. They just don't render in very well. I'm not sure what that's about. Doesn't make much sense to me because the graphics in Farm Sim 25 are very good. Overall, but that is definitely not one of the better features. I think we're pretty good through here. I think we're fine leaving this little area here. Is that actually a swale? I think that is a swale. Yeah, it's a little bit of a low spot. So otherwise we just connect it right up. Okay, so do we want to try to loop this road just a little bit? Wouldn't be bad to expand the pad just a little bit here and a little bit there. Give us a little bit of room to work if we did ever bring equipment down here. Maybe set that up as a staging point at some point. All right, so that was an incredible episode, guys. We got so much done. Just double checking our grass is 100% fertilized. We did put manure on it last time. grow stage 2 of 4. So that will be ready in July, August. It'll be ready in September. But yeah, we just came back to July to finish that field up, and we got that done. So that was, as I said, much faster than I anticipated. Did not come into this episode thinking we were going to grab a forage harvester and another field, but it just sort of all came together. I think it put us in a good spot heading into year 3. Next episode will be in August, and that is year 3, guys. We are through year 2 on the Missouri River Bottom series. So it's been a lot of fun getting this far. I am working on getting out some supercut episodes of the first year, and then eventually it'll be the second year. But you know, that's just, it's crazy how fast the time goes. But you know, a lot of activity for a shorter episode. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.